Yo, yo, what's up? It's your girl Brie at Skulls and Bones 444. I hope you guys are having a lovely day. All this is for the whole collective. And let me tell you what, holy shit. That new moon in Cancer was intense. I don't think I've ever felt such intensity, such an intense energy from any moon cycle ever. Like, and I know that there were many other readers out there that were just like, "Ugh," just like, yeah. It's because the universe, okay, this is for the whole collective. This was the universe saying, okay, some of you guys don't want to change because you don't want to get out of your comfort zone. Well, guess what? We're going to do it for you. We're going to get you out of your comfort zone, whether you like it or not. And that's part of what made this shit feel so uncomfortable. Oof. You know, a lot of people don't want to get out of their comfort zone because it's what they know. But it is time for change. And it's a new moon. And I remember in the last recording that I was talking about what this new moon was going to be. And it said that it was going to be a one hell of an emotional roller coaster. Um, how do I say? On the one hand, focusing on the domestic life, your job, feeling more energetic to get shit done, but then on the other hand, it was gonna be very emotional and sensitive because it was gonna put you in deep thought, and I mean deep ass thought about your life in general. And not to mention, uh, there were a lot of other planets that were either in conjunction, they were in conjunct or sextile and other planets, which just boom, just kept adding fuel to the fire of the emotions. And uh, I can still feel this energy. I don't know about you guys, but it's like slowly slowing down. 3:13 on the timer. Okay. Ay, Dios mío. One second. And yeah. And according to the reading that I did to inform you about this, supposed to be the luckiest moon of the year. Well, it better be with all that fucked up emotions, let me tell you. And for a lot of tarot readers and stuff like that, anybody who's intuitive, sensitive, your words could have been fucked up in the sense of tripping over your words, talking slow, and people could have asked you, are you drunk? Are you fucked up or whatever? No, that wasn't the case at all. It was just a matter of you really were trying to make sure that you said what you needed to say and that there were no misunderstandings or things that, would be taken out of context because it really has felt like Mercury retrograde. But Mercury retrograde, if I'm correct, that's coming next month, July. May God help us all. And also, tripping over your words. How do I say? Just mixing up words that should be in a certain order, but it goes, back and forth, and you're like, oh my god, sound like Daffy Duck. Oof. Yeah, yeah, energy was intense, could have made you feel so, not even only uncomfortable, but it could have made you feel lost in life temporarily. Like, some of you could have been questioning your jobs and whether or not you were in the right career field. And that's especially not just for everybody, okay? For everybody in the collective. I'm trying to word myself right so you guys can understand. 606 on the timer. With the spell work that happened, because the coven's still trying to do spell work with the moon cycles as usual. So it's two attacks each month with the full moon and the new moon. And they wanted tarot readers to make you question if this is the job for you, because we're speaking the truth about everything that they've been doing, how they're going to get caught, and they want us to shut up. I don't think so. And others of you out there, maybe you have this mundane job where you don't want to work with customers anymore, and you want to do your own shit. You want to be your own entrepreneur. You're ready to be the boss of your own life. And, thinking to yourself, how in the hell am I going to get there? Because you could be worried about, I don't have the money to start a business. I don't have this, or that to start a business. Sometimes you just gotta say fuck it and use your creativity. Use your creativity and think outside the box of how you can start. Cause 7:55 on the timer. No business is gonna, pop off like that. Some do. I take my words back. Some do. But the majority of them don't. It takes a while for them to get noticed. And for a lot of tarot readers who have been doing this job, the coven has given us so many fucking issues and struggles to keep pushing us back to the point where we just want to give up. And no, no, we have messages to give out. Let's see. Or some of you want to go back to school, that, you're questioning about, am I gonna enjoy this major or not? Or just wait until this energy is over with and you can think properly. Because also the coven wanted to make the collective confused, like it was partial psychic attacks, and wanted to make you second guess your intuition, because they've tried to shut off your intuition, but they can't. So they were just trying to do mental mind illusion magic on your psyche to make you question your own intuition. Nope, I don't think so. So yeah, Could have felt lost in life, made you confused about what to do. Like I said, the current job and whether or not you like it, or even if you were still on the right path of life, even though you've been seeing all kinds of synchronicities, uh, animals that have been confirmation for you, and all other kinds of shit. Let's see here. And I just said another reason that it was intense because conjunct sextile with other planets, which I said added fuel for the emotions. Hell, I wouldn't doubt it if some of you cried like you've never cried before. That's a sign. Something's happening really fast. Really fast. Like I said, I wouldn't doubt it if some of you cried like you've never cried before. You probably had to get several boxes of tissues, snot running down, your nose, and then you had to go to the stores to get, shit for headaches and sinus headaches and crap. And I think that, you know, your crying could have gone on for at least 2 days, the whole weekend, yeah. And I'll admit, I cried as well. A lot of other readers cried too. They actually had to take a break for a bit because it was just so emotional. Don't be embarrassed for crying. Don't. Because, I mean, after you cry, I don't know about you, but I feel much better. And that's because your brain is releasing the serotonin and the dopamine chemicals from your brain, the feel good chemicals. And it just made you feel better because you had to let the shit out. It's just been building up. Yeah. I'll admit that I cried too, and I felt so much better. So this happened because, and this happened for the whole collective a lot. You cry because you've been keeping so many emotions like depression, anxiety, worry, and fear all to yourself for so damn long, okay, that your body just had to release it. Not to mention you're exhausted from having to defend and protect yourself throughout this spiritual warfare without having anyone to talk to because people would have thought you were crazy. Furthermore, you cried because your body is going through another level of spiritual ascension. It's like your body didn't know how to handle it with everything all fucked up. On another note, this moon was meant to shine light on your domestic life, the relationships you have with friends and family members, and all the hardships and obstacles you've been dealing with for years. And unfortunately, many of you realize that you've been wearing rose colored glasses because subconsciously you didn't want to see the truth about certain family members and friends, but you had a eureka moment. This new moon was gonna force you to take off these glasses and see shit for what it was. Okay? And see the true nature of the people that you have been surrounding yourself with. And so that was a breakthrough. Instead of seeing things and people for what they were. And the reason why you didn't notice it before is because you never took the time to slow down and observe your surroundings and the people you associated with, especially when it came to their behavior or their personalities. 1441 on the timer. And with what I just said, that's a big one for the divine masculine. they really have been blind and sleeping and just slowly realizing I've been hanging around this and that. There's more to life than just this and that. 15:15 on the timer. Let's see. I don't know. Basically, he finally had a breakthrough. Like I said, he saw things and people for what they were. And he didn't take the time to slow down and smell the fucking roses. And I'm willing to bet that after you cried, you realized that some of your family members and friends were actually very toxic and they have been affecting your life in negative ways in terms of indulging in all kinds of bad habits, alcoholism, drug abuse, sexual promiscuity, stealing, and all other kinds of shit, etc., which could have been holding you back from fulfilling your life goals and dreams. 16:16 on the timer. Because, it really sucks, guys, that there's just many times in life where when you hang around a certain crowd of people, they're doing drugs, alcohol, whatever, and then at first you don't want to get involved, because there's things you want to do in life. But then eventually, as time goes on and you hang out with that crowd long enough, you think to yourself, fuck it. I can, party and shit and still get my crap done and whatnot. And that's awesome. There's people out there who can multitask like that, especially in college, whatnot, party, get fucked up, and still get your shit done. But not everybody's like that. And what ends up happening is just they get soaked in to that crowd and they lose sight of what they originally wanted out of life because, like I said, they've gone so far with hanging out and associating with those people that life just becomes all woo, fun, pleasure, and I just want to have fun all the time. I don't want to face any problems, and drugs and alcohol feel great. There's nothing wrong. 18:18 on the timer. There's nothing wrong with indulging, but it's called moderation. And the karmic masculine has no idea what the fuck moderation is. Huge alcoholic and drug addict. And I've been sensing for the longest time that he's been drinking and driving with his kid in the car with him. I don't think he's got a vehicle anymore. That is the one that I think he was sleeping in because he's homeless, just like he wanted to make you guys homeless. Karma is all coming back, and this person thinks that, they're godlike complex, they can do no wrong. They didn't see anything wrong with driving drunk with the kid in the car. And I hope to God that when this car accident happened, that the kid wasn't in the car. But the karmic masculine just boom head first into a tree. 2010 on the timer. They survived, but barely, barely. Hmm. Anyways, talking about fulfilling your life dreams and people you hang around with, da 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 da. Having said that, maybe you came to the conclusion that if you wanted to make more progress in your life, then unfortunately a lot of things from the past were gonna have to stay in the past. I think that Divine Masculine had a hard time dealing with this because it's a heartbreaking and gut wrenching feeling knowing that they're going to have to say goodbye to these people because they felt like family. Seeing as how they've known each other for years, but in reality, these people that he's having to say goodbye to, they were all in the coven, 2131 on the timer, doing all kinds of magic to the feminine. I mean, making her, just torturing her and making her suffer in every way. And they were also doing magic on the masculine to keep him asleep. To keep him asleep. Well, anyway, yeah. But, the divine masculines are now starting to understand that not all people are meant to be in your life forever, especially if they don't respect you or your life choices. So basically, the masculine is having to learn the hard way that they need to create boundaries and stick up for themselves, regardless of what others tell them or think. On the other hand, the feminines got used to being alone because they had no choice. I mean, really, like, they went broke. Anytime they had to try to get a job and shit, these people made sure to stomp on it and have a huge ass chokehold on her and put her in isolation. It was like it spiritually felt like being in a castle and being thrown into the dungeon and locking the key and throwing the key away like nobody knows nothing. You no longer cease to exist. Okay? And they, they wanted to definitely silence you, doing their magic by making other people not want to associate with you anymore. And that's because of all the lies and rumors. Okay? All of this was to make you feel all alone. Okay? To the point where you'd fall into a huge ass depression. They even sent you guys on the moon cycles. They would even send you the spirit of depression and suicide, just making you sad and thinking about checking out. But you never did because you knew that you had a mission to fulfill here. Yeah. And all of this was done to try and prevent the sacred reunion between her and the masculine. And it was all due to extreme jealousy. I mean, jealousy like no fucking other. Karmic is jealous and pissed. The feminine wants nothing to do with him and that the karmic cycle with him is done with. But more importantly, the fact that she figured out his psyche and outsmarted him with his mind games, especially when it came to the mental mind illusion magic. The karmic was working with his karmic and your masculine's karmic at the same time. Okay? And your masculine's karmic, I mean, she hates you with fiery fucking passion. Because it doesn't matter what she does to try and be your copycat. And the karmic's karmic has tried to be your copycat as well. Doesn't matter what the masculine's karmic does to, love spells or copycat you, whatever. She can't make it work. Because of that, this is funny but not funny at the same time because she and the karmic's karmic, they're all dangerous people. Fucking dangerous. Mm. This specific karmic feminine, Jesus Christ, she wants to beat you to a fucking pulp. And the whole coven is pissed with the feminine for speaking her truth. And she's been calling out judgment on these fuckers. Okay. In fact, for some of you, this happened to me. This happened to me when I was uploading the names of the people involved in part two. For some tarot readers, they got their own social platform. They could have had issues uploading the videos because they were losing their internet access. Losing the internet access. And that's because this is nuts because they got someone who's a computer tech that was messing with your internet, okay? Because they're trying to stop you and shut you up. So clearly, the names that you've been calling out that were involved, you're on the spot. You're on the fucking money. So this computer tech is just like, yeah, your internet was going in and out, in and out. Mine was too. So the creepy shit is whoever was doing this, they know your IP address, so that means they've been able to access your emails, your private health documents, and other social media platforms, the websites that you have visited. hmm Even though you've already blocked them, they still know how to get around that shit and gain the access. Yeah, these coven members made sure that they've got all kinds of info about you so that they can exploit you, which they already have. And not just with rumors and lies, but I guarantee that they've been exploiting some embarrassing pictures of you in a private chat room or website that they created, or maybe they have uh, an email, an email that is shared between a huge group of people. And, throughout the years, with this chat room or website or this conjoined email, They've been making plans on what they're gonna do, how they're gonna do it, da 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 da. It's crazy. But 30:03 on the timer. This video is long enough. That's what the fuck's been going on, people. And after this video, I'm gonna get back to my regular tarot readings. So, mwah, see you all soon. Love ya. Crazy putos.